What's up? So we back at it, okay? So I put on a little weight, but that's about to change, okay? Um, so we're picking up where we left off. So I have been doing really well. I have not relapsed when it comes to the nicotine, but uh, I have done a couple of uh, uh, nicotine and smoke, rituals to pay homage to my ancestors. Okay, so there are a lot of things that are changing for me within my life. You know, there's a major transition taking place within me. I just kind of feel as if I'm being called further within my evolution. So I found out that I have diabetes. So um, I'm going to actually check my blood, my sugar. What's up?
I'm in the camera. Yeah.
So as you can tell from the date, it's around the holidays. So, it's a little more cheer in the house. You know. So what I'm doing is that I'm studying my body. I know my body pretty well. So with this new situation going on, I'm trying to learn and understand my body and how my sugar is working. So I'm gonna have to switch up my diet to a more anti-inflammatory diet. Okay. But until then, I'm just gonna keep track of my sugar. Fuck. I wanna poke myself all the fucking time. So I just ate. I had a ham sandwich and a Pepsi. So this is not reading. So I'm gonna turn it on again. This shit is crazy. Don't tell me I have to get another one. Okay, so the last time that I checked my sugar, it was 107. That was hours ago. I just finished eating, so I just want to go in and study. Just want to study my body, the intake, and the different foods. I know I'm supposed to change the needle, but I have anemia, which means that my blood is thinner. So it's 99. Okay, so I have, like, some individuals have issues to where the blood sugar is really high. They have to manage it with keeping it low or in the middle. So mine goes down very low. Okay. So even after I ate, I should have maybe did it before I ate too, to be able to figure it out. But earlier, when it was at 107, okay, so, well, whatever. So after I ate today, I had a Pepsi and a turkey sandwich. So it was 99. Where's my Sharps container? Um, Recently I got a job. So with me working, this is how I actually found out that something was going on with my body, because I experienced being super hungry at work, and of course I'm burning off a lot of energy at work. So I noticed how I was so hungry, and I just felt like I was going to pass out from the hunger. I've never experienced anything like that before. I know the signs of diabetes. So, I just started noticing things, and I have, been checking on my sugar. It just be low. You know, it needs to stay at 100, in between 100. Well, don't quote me. But the thing is that with me being on the lower end of it, mine is usually 50, 60. You at least want to be like 70 to 100. But even 70, 80, and 90 is a little, you know. So with mine being 50, being in the 50s and 60s, I find it more of a challenge. And the thing is that I find myself being more hungrier too. So I'm just like, okay, so I'm just going to have to keep up with my sugar and figure out how to balance out my health too, which means that a lot of things have to change. So with things having to change, then, naturally I'm going to be losing the weight, and I have to be a little more active. So, life has been pretty good since the last time that we were here at Life at After Vice. So, we're just going to pick up where we left off. I remember a couple of days ago to where, I just could hear a really big celebration going on. And I was connecting with a spirit guide, and my spirit guide, he wanted to smoke the tobacco, he wanted to smoke the pre-roll, and I got a bottle of wine. And then the next day, there was just something very different. It's like that day was the day that I did the last of those things. I don't know. The next day, because I told my son's father, I said, because I had drunk the bottle of wine down to a quarter. I usually be sipping on the wine, a whole bottle, for like 3 days. But I'm just like, it was just so good. It was just so good. So, I kind of surprised myself with drinking it like that. But I mean, I don't know. It just kind of seemed like a celebration. Then the next day, it's like everything was void. He was supposed to go out and get another bottle of wine. He went out and he got some liquor to make us margaritas. And I just, it was like a cup of alcohol. But, I mean, I just wasn't feeling it. It's like something in my body says, we're so over it. I'm actually losing the desire to smoke my pre-rolls too. There are so many things that are changing, things in which that once were desires for me that are no longer desires. Things that I once wanted, I just don't want those things anymore. So this is why I say, I'm going through like a major transition, a major, I can like, it's like my body is speaking to me. As a psychic medium, your body is a portal, but it's like each organ now is speaking to me, you know. So I'm just like, wow, this is going to be a hell of a journey. So, I decided to take a break from a lot of the spiritual things and just kind of come underground and, like just kind of focus on my documentary. So this is kind of when I go into hermiting, to where, because I cancel a lot of my subscriptions. I had a Netflix subscription, I canceled that. So, like no TV. It's really not going to be too much music unless it's my own or music in which that I'm making, you know. Um, this is like complete solitude, and this is where self-love and self-care is really going to kick up. I haven't gone into this solitude with it since, I want to say, the last time was 2021. It's like I completely shut myself off to the world and everything in which that was going on in the world. Now the thing is that, my son's father, he's into a lot of things in which that are going on. So through him is where I hear certain things, become aware of certain things. But as for me, it's like a total shut off from the world, and I don't go to the places I usually go to. I stay closer to the home. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of writing, so I'm pretty much going to get back into my writing. I have an animation pad that I have been becoming more interested in learning and getting to know. I have a job now. It's not a high demand job. So, I picked up about a week ago that it's time for me to kind of create more patience. And the patience, it has a lot to do with slowing down and being able to focus on me slowly, especially considering that I have new things going on with my body. I don't really want to go to the doctor. I don't want to have to deal with that. And you don't have to deal with that, but you have to be honest with yourself about taking care of yourself. So my diet definitely has to change. I struggle a lot with inflammation within my body. So I'm going to be working on that and taking care of that. There's a lot that has taken place, in between time from the time that we were last here. I think maybe April, maybe May. Okay, and it's December now. So we're ending off this year and we're moving into a new year. Okay, so of course we're going to do a little documentation from like day to day, you know. So, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things. A lot of new things, and I feel like I have to adapt to them. And I'm about to come on my period. My breasts are so tender. Oh God, they hurt. They're so sore. But anyway, so I guess this is our introductory to our new journey. Okay, so until next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.